Hi, and welcome to the first video podcast for the Nintendo Objective. My name's Mike. Thanks for joining me. If you want to know a little bit more about me, you can read my first post on the blog. Go check out and see who I am, who I'm not, all that fun stuff. Today we're going to talk about specifically the Wii U console and why you should get one. And I really do think you should. And we'll go through that in the comparisons. Anything we talk about, there's a bunch of articles that I found and checked out. I'm going to put all my notes up there onto the blog as well. So you can watch this and read that or do one or the other. Totally up to you. That being said, let's start off with graphics. Do graphics really matter in a system? Yes, they do. In part, they do. They go to a certain point and then you need gameplay. And I want to focus on that. Now, I understand, let's not kid ourselves. The Wii U is it's humorlessly underpowered compared to the Xbox One and PS4. I understand it's underpowered, but go play Super Mario 3D World on a nice big screen and tell me that it doesn't look pretty still. I mean, they can still make it look great. And it's closer to the next gen because it is next gen than the current consoles or whatever you want to call them, the Xbox 360 and the PS3 and the Wii console. So that being said, I put up a bunch of articles up online, about different things, and I found a really cool article from TheVerge.com, and it basically, they were being really objective and made a really good point, in my opinion. Yeah, the graphics are there, but the three systems boil down to what matters most to you. Now, PS4, do you want that mix between traditional gaming and stepping into the modern social and media connectivity with your system? The Xbox One is full-on social media, just media stuff. I mean, you can tell by their commercials, their general commercial that they released their system, or right before it was released last November. What did you see? Or I think it was September, sorry. So what did you see on that? You saw people moving it back and forth, moving things. You saw, Zachary Quinto doing, playing Spock from Star Trek. You saw some games, but you saw movies. You saw connectivity, like people trash talking after watching their favorite soccer team. It's all about media, and that's not a bad thing either. Nintendo, the Wii U, is all about gameplay. Gameplay, single player, and more importantly, multiplayer.
Bring the family together with Super Mario.
So it's a really cool article. I posted on my blog. Go check it out. Really good points made there. This article states something that I feel like a lot of people are really missing the point on, is what matters most to you. Now for me, I want gameplay, okay? I want something that I cannot get on my tablet, on my phone, on my laptop, on my PC, heck, even on my TV. Smart TVs nowadays have so many apps and built-in games and stuff. It's crazy what they have. So why should I buy a new console when I already have something that I don't really need that new console for? That's where Nintendo steps in. We're going to talk about a few of the big things, but first off, I want to talk about exclusives. Exclusives are key. Third party, I'm not dogging on third party at all. They're really, really important, especially for bringing in business, okay? Case in point, Grand Theft Auto 5. I was really surprised. I was set on a PS4 like that. I'm not getting an Xbox One. That's lame. That's dumb. I'm not going to do it because they just kind of ticked me off with no backwards compatibility or access to that, or it's just a bunch of stuff. But that's me. So I look at exclusives. I went, well, PS4, of course, because they've got the games I want to play. Kingdom Hearts, Metal Gear Solid, not Destiny, but Thief. There are all these games, and I do want to play Destiny too, by the way. There are all these games that I thought were going to be PS4 exclusives. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, not exclusive. Kingdom Hearts 3, not exclusive. Watch Dogs, not exclusive. The Battlefield series, the Call of Duty series, not exclusive. The Witcher 3, not exclusive. And like I said before, Destiny, not exclusive. That blew my mind. I was like, whoa, well then why wouldn't I get an Xbox One? So let's go through the list. Now these games are not a complete list of exclusives for each system. I'm talking about the big ones that people like, the ones that really matter to masses of people. So I have this list here. So Microsoft, as far as exclusives, like the majority of people want, Halo, that's a big one. Forza, really big one with the racers. Dead Rising, and Titanfall. So the PS4 has Infamous franchise, and then Gran Turismo franchise. Let's look at the exclusives that are out, are about to come out, or are coming out this year, scheduled to come out this year for Nintendo. We have Pikmin 3, the new Super Mario Brothers series, the side-scrolling ones. I separate those from new Super Mario 3D World, Zelda, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Monolith Studios X, Bayonetta 2. Exclusives are important. And I posted an article, really pretty to the point, pretty cool article though, an interview from the CEO of Amazon in the UK and how he thinks Nintendo's going to have a great year. Which brings me to my next point. Is the Wii U doomed compared to the PS4 and the Xbox One? In short, no, it's not. Number one, just look it up. Look up anywhere on the internet. Nintendo has money. They're not going anywhere. Plus, we don't want a gaming world without Nintendo. Come on, let's be real. Even if you hate the Wii U or whatever, it's Nintendo. Come on, they got to be in the gaming world, right? So it's not going to go. It's not doomed. It's not going to go out of business. And I think they're really going to get behind the Wii U because of, first of all, what we talked about, exclusives. So now they're going to have a monster year, I think, because of the exclusives. And the cool thing about exclusives with Nintendo are they bring in a whole new crowd that the other two are not going to get because most of the games on those other two consoles come out for PC. That's right, PC gamers. I know many of them, and many I've asked their opinion or just heard. Many of them either want or own already a Wii U system for the exclusives, the games they can't play on their PC. Why would they go get one of those other consoles when they can play the game with better graphics, better frame rate, smoother? Why would they go spend money for this new system? Oh, but they'll spend it for a Nintendo system for a bunch of games that they love and they love the characters that they can't get anywhere else. The Wii U is cheap, okay? People complain about this. $300. So for my Wii U, when I went and bought it earlier this year, I bought a Wii U with a game. I grouped New Luigi U and New Super Mario Brothers U as one game because it's just one big game. So I got my Wii U with one game plus Wind Waker plus New Super Mario 3D World, all for about $440 after tax. I go and buy a PS4 alone after tax, it's going to be like $415, $420. So I have $20 to buy a game. It's not going to happen. So for my Wii U with 3 games, and I already have my Wii remotes and nunchucks, so I have 5 controllers already. For that, all that for $440 is gonna be ballpark $20 to $40 less than a PS4 with one game, and a game that's, let's face, probably not gonna be very good because they just came out. The games will get better, and there's a bunch of them coming out this year, but the games out right now are not that good. And then next up, the gamepad. The gamepad, until you actually play it and you use it, there are so many possibilities that you can use with that thing. And we'll get into that, but there, like games like Wonderful 101 implement it, and Wind Waker did really well with their menus and switching it back. And the off TV play, guys, I've used so much. My wife wants to watch something, or we both like want to watch a basketball game, but I kind of have the itch to play my Super Mario Brothers or something. Pop that thing in, play it right on the handle. It's awesome, guys. It's awesome. It works flawlessly. Which brings up the next point. Should the gamepad be dropped? Now, there are people saying it should. There are people saying it should be optional. I've put up articles. I say absolutely not. There's so much potential to give you such an awesome single-player gaming experience that you will not get on the other systems or on PC or on tablets or anything. It offers so much, but this is where Nintendo has to step up and get on their first party developers cases and make sure they utilize it. Case in point, Donkey Kong Country just goes black. That is bad. Now, the game's probably going to be great, but Nintendo cannot do that. They've already released some games that use it really well. I already said Wonderful 101. Really cool. It's cool. It's just a cool aspect to it. It just adds to it. Now, Nintendo has to also give incentives for third-party developers to do that. Some kind of kickdown, something, so that they'll actually utilize the gamepad instead of just including the gamepad. I don't think it should be dropped, and it's the battery life is not that great, okay? But I've not had a problem with it. I played for 4 or 5 hours before, and then I was done. Battery life does suck. It is not lightweight. It is not awkward to hold. I actually enjoy it. It's not bad at all. And having that screen, it's pretty cool. And the speakers and everything, it has really good opportunity to be awesome. So I want to bring up a couple misconceptions about the Wii U. First of all, sales. Now, of course, the sales at the beginning, at the beginning of the year they released, you got to keep in mind, like 8 or 9 months out of that year, they had no games. They had Pikmin 3 and New Super Mario Brothers. Pretty much it. It wasn't until September, October, actually I would see even late October, when people started really going, oh, there are actually good games coming out. Wind Waker came out, Wonderful 101 came out, and New Super Mario Brothers 3D World. In those few months, they caught back up. And I even posted, and of course you take it with a grain of salt because of the source, but there was a post, and it's on the blog, stating that the week of Christmas, the Wii U outsold the Xbox One. Have you heard that anywhere flagged out? Waving on flags somewhere, people shouting it out? No. Wii U sales aren't as good as the other two, but they're not bad. They're just below what they expected because 8 or 9 months out of the past year, they didn't have anything for it. The next thing I want to talk about is the gamepad being completely useless. That is 100% not true. I use the off-TV play, guys. I use it all the time. Chelsea goes in there and she's watching one of her shows. I don't really want to watch it. It's one of those shows that I just don't care about. Hey, I pop in my headphones, plug it in, and I play Super Mario 3D World or Mario 3D World. It is not useless. I've not felt uncomfortable holding it and using it. I really like the touch screen. I like the concept a lot. If there were flaws with it, I would say the Bluetooth is not as strong as it should be. Kind of cuts out a little bit here and there every now and then, but it's been so few and far between, it's not a problem. And the battery life should be better. Has it been a problem for me? No. But it should be better than, 4 or 5 hours. But the gamepad is not rendered completely useless, and you just have to play it. I can explain. You just gotta play it. The next misconception is that the Wii U is not a next-gen console. That is 100% untrue. And in fact, some developers like Ubisoft have kind of alluded to that, kind of saying, and I've posted on the blog, kind of saying it's in between the two, the current gen and the next gen, but it's closer to, graphically, the next gen. This is not a current gen console. The problem is Nintendo has marketed it in a way that makes it seem that way. They should have changed the name of the system. People are just confused. The hardcore gamers already have a bad on for Nintendo because of the Wii. The casual gamers are confused by it. So now you have no market. When you play it, you'll understand. I liked my Wii. I got it at the end of its life just to play some multiplayer games with some friends. That was pretty much it. And play some games I wanted to, like the Mario Galaxies. But I love my Wii U. I really, really do. In the last 2 months, I haven't turned my Xbox 360 on once. And I love my Xbox 360. My Wii U, though, it is next gen, and I promise you, and the games reflect that. Final thing I want to talk about, the Miiverse. The Miiverse is strangely addictive. Is it for everyone? I'm sure not. But there's something really cool about playing a game and having a social aspect with your gaming. It is addicting. It's weird. The communities are really well. It's always a really good atmosphere on there. Already, there are so many strangers that I've chatted with or like their statuses. And come on, who doesn't want to like be playing 3D World, get all the green stars and the stamp, and you got it in a certain time, and you want to help somebody out, or like somebody has a question like, oh, how do I do this? And you're like, I got you. I go on it every time I get on my Wii U. So when they incorporate that with an online, like I can get on my laptop and go to Miiverse, then it's going to be even better. I think that's the next step. But Miiverse is pretty darn good. So these things that I talked about, there are many misconceptions with Nintendo right now. And the reason why I'm doing this blog is to kind of clear that up. And plus, I just love, I love gaming. I love gaming, and I feel like this is just a bad situation for Nintendo. They put themselves into it. I'll say that. But I just feel like I need to try to, give my perspective from somebody who is both equal parts hardcore gamer and casual gamer. I'm just a gamer. I'm a guy. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm not doing anything. This is just my opinion of it. Now, I was a hater. All my friends could attest to this. Everybody who knew me, I talked trash on the Wii U. I said things like, I hope the Wii U fails so that Nintendo will cancel it and make a new system, or they'll upgrade it and sell it for cheap, do something. I was a huge hater, and I thought it was a waste of a console. Then in December, my wife's brother, so my brother-in-law, got one, and he got New Super Mario World, 3D World. Changed my whole perspective. And it's funny because my wife joined in. She doesn't play a whole lot of video games because she gets frustrated because she's not as good at them. The three of us played for at least an hour, hour and a half. For my wife to do that, that's something special. Her favorite Xbox 360 games, she never did that. So, I was a huge, huge hater. This is not coming from, I'm not a Nintendo fanboy by any means. I own a 360, I've owned a PS2. I didn't even own a Nintendo 64. I always played through my friends, like my friends always had them. That's how we played those games. So I'm not that. I just want to give a different perspective on the Wii U specifically, and then just talk Nintendo and talk gaming, and on this social networking thing, right? And I hope out of this whole video podcast you get something, or at the very least it's entertaining. Maybe just looking at my goofy face and laughing at me for 10-15 minutes is great for you, then that's awesome. At the end of every video podcast, I want to ask a question for you, the users, to answer and discuss. That's why I made this thing. I want to discuss things, maybe create new ideas, just talk about this stuff because I love the gaming world. The big question this week: do you think that Nintendo's strategy to go to the mobile market and kind of advertise slash make mini games of stuff pointing to their Wii U and their 3DS, do you think that is a good strategy? Do you think it's a bad strategy? Or do you think at this point it's just inconsequential and it doesn't really matter because they're too far gone? I look forward to talking with you. I look forward to seeing your discussions. Once again, I hope you found this entertaining at the very least. I hope you have a great day.